From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, February the 24th, 2020. We open with southern Israel under a barrage of rocket fire, with a reported total of at least 80 rockets fired since yesterday at Israel from Gaza by Palestinian Islamic Jihad. That number is as of the time of the taping of this newscast. One rocket landed in a preschool playground today that had fortunately been evacuated just moments before. IDF spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conrikis reported from that playground today to summarize the events as well as the Israeli response.
It started actually a little bit more than 24 hours ago when two Palestinian Islamic Jihad operatives, militants from their military wing, tried to place an IED by our border. We were able to stop that attempt. One of the terrorists was killed, another was wounded, and since then, the Islamic Jihad, an internationally recognized terrorist organization, has been firing more than 40 rockets from Gaza into Israel. The reason we're here at the playground, and as you can see behind me, is the impact, the result of a rocket that was fired from Gaza towards Israel. We have retaliated, as we always do, against military targets belonging to the Islamic Jihad inside Gaza. We have also, for the first time in a long time, retaliated against Palestinian Islamic Jihad targets in Damascus, Syria. And the bottom line is now, where do we go from here? If the Islamic Jihad escalates the situation and continues to fire towards Israeli civilians, we will have no choice but to continue to defend ourselves, and we will do so in a very strong way.
And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu issued a warning to the terror groups in Gaza, saying Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad need to understand that this will not continue. If they do not stop the fire altogether, not just for a day or two, but in general, then we will have to implement the wide-ranging campaign plan we have prepared. There was some property damage and some light injuries reported as a result of the rockets yesterday and today, mostly anxiety and people falling as they ran to bomb shelters. Many of the rockets were intercepted by the Iron Dome missile defense system. Others landed in open areas. And Israel police are looking into a report that a Jewish resident of East Jerusalem said that an Arab driver tried to run him over last night. And on Saturday, a Palestinian man tried to stab an Israeli policeman in Jerusalem's Old City. The terrorist ran towards a group of officers near the Lion's Gate, brandishing a knife. He was shot and killed. A number of Jewish community centers were threatened across New York yesterday. The threats were received in the form of emails. A spokesman for New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said the threats are believed to be part of a wider series of threats made against JCCs across the country, with a reported total of 19 JCCs targeted. No physical threat was discovered at any JCC. An investigation is ongoing. The governor addressed the press outside the Albany JCC after it was evacuated and searched as a precautionary measure.
These types of situations are so ugly and so unfortunate. What's worse is we're seeing more and more of them. We've had about 42 incidents of anti-Semitism in this state in just the past couple of months. So it's not getting better, it's only getting worse.
Well, Bernie Sanders will not attend the AIPAC policy conference next month. The presidential hopeful tweeted that the Israeli people have the right to live in peace and security, so do the Palestinian people. I remain concerned about the platform AIPAC provides, he said, for leaders who express bigotry and oppose basic Palestinian rights. For that reason, I will not attend their conference. The senator did not say which leaders he was referring to in his accusations. Well, the pro-Israel lobby spokesman Marshall Whitman told the Times of Israel Senator Sanders has never attended our conference, and that is evident from his outrageous comment. AIPAC released a full statement saying by engaging in such an odious attack on this mainstream, bipartisan American political event, Senator Sanders is insulting his very own colleagues and the millions of Americans who stand with Israel. Truly shameful. CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, tweeted, "It's offensive that Bernie Sanders denigrates the AIPAC policy conference as a platform for bigotry. At a time," he wrote, "when we see a surge of real hate across the U.S., it's irresponsible to describe AIPAC like this." And CEO of the American Jewish Committee, David Harris, wrote, "Senator Sanders, you won't address 18,000 Americans of all backgrounds celebrating U.S.-Israel ties. Shame. You overlook core interests and values at the heart of the U.S.-Israel link. Shame. You describe AIPAC as a platform for bigotry. Shame. You ignore AIPAC's support for a two-state deal. Shame." While the city of Aalst, Belgium, proudly delivered on its vows to double down with their offensive anti-Semitic floats at the town's annual parade yesterday. Some participants wore costumes depicting offensive caricatures of Orthodox and Hasidic Jews with the bodies of ants, for example, maintaining that it was all in good fun. Aalst Mayor Christophe de Haas agreed, saying that in the context of the carnival, these displays are not anti-Semitic. The president of the Belgian League Against Anti-Semitism, Joel Rubenfeld, said of the displays, which although are the work of a minority of participants and spectators, stain the whole event. He said Aalst's name is now associated with anti-Semitism. And a programming note for you this week, JBS will be providing an historic first on the American Jewish scene as we televise live 3 election forums with representatives of 14 slates running for seats in this year's World Zionist Congress. Tune in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7 Eastern. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight. For Monday, February the 24th at 7 o'clock, it's The Wisdom of Dr. Ruth. At 7:30, documentary filmmaker Manfred Kirshheimer is featured on Jewish Cinematheque. At 8, it's a panel discussion from the ADL's Never Is Now Summit entitled Jews Can't End Anti-Semitism by Themselves, Working with Coalitions to Confront Hate. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Daniel Gordis on L'chaim. At 10, philanthropist Charles Bronfman speaks at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up right after this newscast, it's Good Week Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, February the 24th, 2020. I'm Teisha Bader.